Hey there, we are back with part 3. So today we're going to be talking about bloating. Why are we so bloated? I have a lot of people come to me that, they're like, Holly, I've tried everything. I've tried low FODMAP and paleo and all these diets. I've tried probiotics. I've tried all the things and I'm still bloated. And then some of them say, you know what, if I stick with my very strict diet, I can manage the bloating. But as soon as I fall off the wagon and have a single treat, they're extremely bloated, maybe even get constipated. So first off, you shouldn't have to adhere to a super restrictive diet to manage your bloating and constipation or poop problems. There's a reason you're bloated, and we have to find that reason because there's many of them. We're going to touch on them today. And you also shouldn't have to feel like you have to dress to hide your bloating, right? You should be able to wear whatever tight clothes you want and feel confident in them without stressing about bloating. And then another thing of like going out to eat, right? Or going out for drinks with your friends. For a lot of people, having restaurant food or having a drink or two is going to trigger a huge bloat in them. And that might even last several days. So we're going to talk about how we can get to the root of these troubles and get you feeling confident again. Okay. So the first one, people often say to me that they are bloated when actually they're constipated, and that's what's causing the bloat. So if you're going less than once a day, you are constipated. Even if you're going once a day and it's incomplete, so it's small little rabbit pellets that are hard to pass and you're feeling like it's not complete, that's constipation too. You need to be having a full, easy to pass, big, long log, a healthy bowel movement every day, sometimes multiple times a day, in order to have keep that bloating under control and not have backup of stool contributing to your bloat, okay? So if you're really struggling with constipation, think about the factors we talked about before. The gut bacteria imbalances, the methanogen microbes that grow more in our bodies as we age. We really have to get those under control with a personalized protocol. Obviously, fiber and fluids is crucial, but a lot of doctors will tell that to people and it's just not working, right? You may even try something like a laxative or like some magnesium and it's still not working. If that's the case, you really, really, really have to look at these root causes of the gut bacteria. And the second thing here being, you may not be digesting and absorbing. So back to what we were talking about with skin health. If food enters your intestine and it hasn't been properly digested in your stomach and the first part of your small intestine, and then it enters the rest of your gut undigested, your bacteria is going to act on that and ferment it in order to break it down so that they can use it for food. Obviously, fermentation, as we know, causes gas release, right? When you see fermented foods, they're carbonated. So the gas is going to be produced, you're going to get bloated. So you need to make sure we're digesting things in the upper gut optimally in order to avoid that bloating, whether that means trying a digestive enzyme or, really importantly, slowing down and taking time to eat your meal without distractions, chewing thoroughly, and really taking that time. Because if you are eating in a hurry or on the go, your body's in that stress state, right? And digestion just shuts right down. Your stomach acid goes down, your contractions of your intestines go down, you're going to get constipated, you're going to have indigestion, you're going to feel uncomfortable. We have to take time to eat and enjoy our food. The other factors that contribute to constipation is that declining estrogen that we talked about. You may even have an autoimmune issue going on, especially if you're older and especially if you have other autoimmune conditions already, or if you've had food poisoning. Food poisoning, our body can often make an antibody to this toxin that's released from the bacteria when we get food poisoning. And now we have this antibody that's actually attacking our own intestines constantly. So if that's the case, and obviously you wouldn't know yourself, there are tests you can do for that, but I often, in speaking with someone, can figure out if it's an autoimmune issue. If that's the case, we have to use certain supplements and approaches to reduce and squash that inflammation, that autoimmune response. Otherwise, you're always going to be reacting and always going to feel uncomfortable no matter what you eat. So we have to see whether there's an autoimmune response in there. Obviously, gut bacteria imbalances in general, whether it's upper gut like the SIBO we talked about, or lower gut, or even a fungal overgrowth, that's going to contribute to bloating as the bacteria ferment things. The stress factor is crucial. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that they're trying all the supplements I gave them, they're doing the dietary changes, doing all the things, and they're still constipated. Why is that? Because they are chronically stressed and they don't realize how much their stress and their nervous system always being on edge is shutting down their digestion. I can't hammer this home enough, because we really have to understand there's a full mind-body connection. The gut-brain connection is always happening. There's a two-way street that's always happening. And so if you're stressed, everything's getting shut down there. If your gut's happy, your brain is happy, and vice versa, right? So don't negate that factor. It's so incredibly important. So even if you're doing 3 deep breaths before a meal where your belly's expanding, that's going to get you into that parasympathetic rest and digest relaxed state where your digestion will kick on. You'll probably even hear gurgles in your gut, and you'll be able to optimally digest with less bloating and actually not be constipated. The final thing is hormones. So as we said, hormones shift dramatically in the perimenopausal phase and especially into menopause. And when estrogen declines, serotonin declines, and that contributes to lower contractions in the gut, so less peristalsis. We're not getting those contractions. There's a lot we can do with supplements and different dietary strategies to make sure that we have more regular peristalsis and things are moving through at an optimal rate. And the final thing is the damage to like leaky gut and a poor gut lining as we age. So those hormone shifts also contribute to a leaky gut, or an inflamed gut, where the gut lining should be nice and healthy and the cells should be tight together, but we get these gaps. We get things like food particles and bacteria leaking into the bloodstream, and that's promoting food sensitivities, chronic inflammation, fatigue, all the things. So even just being constipated is enough to cause leaky gut. But as we age, the lack of estrogen and the changes that happen in our body puts us at higher risk for leaky gut and other health problems. So like I said before, it's going to slow your metabolism. It's going to cause skin issues. It's going to cause bloating. We really have to work on optimizing that gut lining, healing it up nice and tight. So that means balancing out gut bacteria to bring down inflammation. That means taking certain supplements to actually repair the gut lining. And some of these are included in your supplement protocol. And that means optimizing the bacteria, because the healthy bacteria actually produce compounds called postbiotics that feed your gut lining, that kind of keeps it nice and healthy and tight, keep it really good in there. So bring down that inflammation and just keep everything hunky-dory. It also helps reduce those methanogens we talked about, which slow your metabolism and make you constipated, and keeps everything working the way it should be. So that's it for this little video. If you have any questions about any of the content we covered, do feel free to reach out, book a free meet and greet session with myself. Or if you're looking to get personalized protocol because the supplements you've tried are helping, but they're not quite enough, and you're feeling like you've got some other things you need to address, then do book a session with me. I'm happy to help.